Okay, second question. Differentiate y equals to bracket open 3x minus 1 bracket close cube bracket open s squared plus 5 bracket close. What we need to do is simply write our solution and then start working on that. We have y is given as bracket open 3x minus 1 raised to cube, okay? And then bracket open again, x squared plus 5, bracket close. That's also chain rule, products. You can see product, this is multiplying this. So when you have a situation like this, you are expected to apply product rule or chain rule or composite functions, as the case may be. So the first thing we need to do is to identify our solution, and that our solution should be differentiating y with respect to x. And in doing this, we need to keep v, all right, and differentiate u. Of course, okay, we should first of all identify our product function, and that product function is given as y is equals to u v. So if we have this, and we're going to differentiate this with respect to x, differentiating y with respect to x, we need to keep v first and differentiate u with respect to x, and then keep u and differentiate v with respect to x. So we do that this way, it becomes dy over dx is equals to, we keep v first, v du and dx plus. Of course, I've said this before, anytime you are dealing or treating products, chain, composite function, is product rule. Look at products. So what you need to do, once you hear the name product, is multiplication. Change that multiplication sign during your operation as plus. Change this to plus, so it becomes this. We can now keep u, differentiate v with respect to x. That's all. So we can work with this. Now we have understood what this is all about. The next target here is for us to differentiate, identify our u from the equation given or expression given. We identify our u and then identify our v respectively. So let's just go and do that. Let u be represented as what? Bracket open 3x minus 1 raised to power 3, that's our u. And our v is given as bracket open x squared plus 5, bracket close. Now we're not done. We've just identified u and v respectively. The next thing to do is to differentiate u with respect to x and then differentiate v with respect to x respectively. So that is done this way. The first one is du dx. So let's pick u. That's it. Du 3x minus 1. Alright, cube. So differentiating this gives, we bring down 3. Alright, and then take it again, 3x minus 1. Or let me do it where we can have enough space. So we have this here, differentiation, bring down 3, and we have 3x minus 1 into the bracket, and then 3 minus 1. That's it. So with this step now, we can then have du, differentiating u with respect to x. So this becomes 3, and then here we have the 3x, alright, minus 1. This lowers to 2. Then inside the bracket, we have 3x minus 1. And what happens here is that when we differentiate a constant term, it vanishes. And we are left with just 3x. Differentiating this will leave us with x raised to power 0. Alright? So we can have dot 3x, 1 minus 1. And finally, for this one, we have 3 bracket 3x. Alright? Minus 1 raised to power 2 dot just 3. Good. Alright, so that is it for now. We keep it. This is du dx. We keep it. Then the next target is to evaluate dv with respect to the x. Yes, that's what it should be. So let's do that. dv with respect to x, differentiating v with respect to x. Where is our v? Our v is given as s squared, so we don't have any problem here. Vanishing this, when we differentiate a constant term, the constant term here is 5. When we differentiate a constant term, it vanishes and we are left with just s squared. Differentiating this simply gives us 2x, then 2 minus 1. So dv dx is equal to, what happens here is just simply 2x. So we have this. Alright? We remind ourselves of the formula to be used. Wherever we see v, we substitute with its value and the same thing across. So let's go. Therefore, dy dx, let's take it one after the other. For v, where is the value for v? The value for v is x squared plus 5. So let's go. In bracket we have x squared plus 5. The value for du and dx is all this. Wow. Okay? So we have, in that we have brackets 9, sorry, that should be 3. First of all, we have 3 brackets, 3x, I'm taking this minus 1, right? Bracket squared. And then dot 3 times 3. Good. So we have this. Okay. That's for this. Okay? Then the next thing is plus. Our connecting sign is plus. U, where is u? Our u is simply 3x minus 1. Okay? 3x minus 1. That's our u. 3x minus 1. Does it have any power? Yes, cube. We have cube there. And where is our dv dx? Our dv dx is simply 2x dots 2x. Okay. I will leave the rest for you to do. Find out what happens next. You should do some kind of simplification, right? Yes. You can do that. Use 3, multiply everything here. We have 9 at this point. And then you can open the bracket and so on and so forth. So we may not have all that luxurious time. So convince yourself that you can do this. Just go, use 3, multiply everything here. Look at the brackets here. And the same thing applies there. Use 2x.